We're going to teach you how to hook up an electrical panel to a shed, barn, or whatever structure you have on your property. So we're here today hooking up a 100 amp breaker panel for Kevin, and he's going to have his man cave shed out here. We're just hooking up the panel right now, so I would be running the conduit inside. Kevin already ran the underground cable. So we got that hooked up nice and level. Let's go hook up the conduit. Hooked up the conduit, and then we put in the wire up through the conduit, drilled the hole, the appropriate place where it goes into the house, pull the wire back out, push the box off, drill the hole, pull the wire in. Now we're ready to go inside. So we have the hole and the wire pulled through. The wire you want to use for 100 amp is 223, or you can use 224. So that's basically the gauge of the wire. The conductor size is number 2, and right here we have 223. So we're going to push the wire in through a bushing up through here, and then it's going to be connected to both sides of the panel here for the neutral, for the hot leg, and for the neutral, and then of course your ground wire as well. So we're going to get ready to splice this. Warning, this stuff is not easy to cut. Be very careful. Once you cut the sheathing, you do not want to fray the wires, the sheathing for the wire itself, otherwise you're going to get a short. You can see how thick it is. It's not easy to cut. Get yourself the right tools. Go to Lowe's or Home Depot and tell them what you're trying to do here. These knockouts are different sizes. This the bushing that he got, so I want to make sure I get the right size knockout. It's got multiple sizes that you can bend the metal back with. Then once you get it bent down, you can take a pair of alignment pliers and just wiggle back and forth, and it should snap right off.
Go.
So we have to hook up the grounding rod on the outside. We can hook up another ground coming from the panel inside. You want to figure out the exact spot you need to splice back. It's going to be somewhere about here for me. So you want to take a pen and mark where you need to stop splicing at. Take a utility knife, a really sharp one, and carefully slice the wire and pull back a little bit at a time. Now once I splice this all the way back to the proper place where I want it to terminate inside the box at, I'm going to take off this outside covering, and I'm going to cut each wire inside the box where it belongs on each lug. I stripped the wires on back a little bit, and you need about 3/4 of an inch wire exposed to put on top of the lug. This wire is actually color coded. Not that it matters, as long as you wire it up the same way on both sides, it's got to be the same on both sides. So this right here, I'm going to use as my common, my neutral, because it's white. I'm going to use this side to my left. These two right here will give me, they're both hot legs. So one hot leg is going to go right here. And I'm going to bend that thing up. Put her on in. Something like that. And you want to make sure you're really tight in this wire. If you do not make good contact, it won't work. So, you want to make sure you make good contact. They recommend 3/4 of an inch. Apparently 3/4 of an inch will give you enough wire for this lug. So that's what you're going to get. So that's on there nice and tight. Now I'm going to strip the other wire and do the same thing. Gotta loosen up on the lug. All the way back. It's better to have it much longer than too short. That sucks. I never done that before, but it happens to people. I'm gonna tighten up on this right there. And as you can see, I'm not coming too far down on either side. It's perfect. My little tip, when you're wiring this, as you saw me before, I stripped down the wires to make sure everything fit properly. Then you want to take everything back off again, because otherwise there's so much tension in this wire, you'll never be able to get inside there, inside the middle lug. So you want to loosen everything back up once you know everything fits. So you can see everything's perfect. See where it bent right here? It bent there from the lug. So I pull it back up. Then I'm going to stick my neutral in there. Hook that in there first thing. Just get it sort of tight. Now, this is pretty much bent out where it needs to go. And I can lift up on each conductor, put it in a proper place. This is your quick tip, little secret of the trade. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to strip back this middle wire and putting it on that lug if you do not do what I said. When you're hooking up the ground wire to the grounding bar, it does not come with the proper lug. So you get to purchase the lug separately, and it looks like this. Here's a lug. You could also use different style lugs. I don't have any of those. Yeah, here's another style right here that you could also put on here as well. So I just cut the wire back to the ground. I'm going to put this lug on here. Hopefully. Readjust this. Make sure everything's nice and neat. We hooked up Kevin's new breaker panel about 2 years ago, Kevin, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Electric company wanted $200 or something like that, ridiculous, to shut off the meter. So I'm like, don't worry about that. We'll figure out a way around it. We took off the meter ourselves. Of course, we almost broke the bloody thing, but Kevin put it back together
It still works.
like a puzzle. And it's going. So I tied that on there first. That's just the way I do it. Everybody does things differently. Make sure I have enough slack for my breaker. Okay, now we're going to take the breaker, which there's got to be for receptacles, so we're going to make a 20 amp breaker in this one. You want to splice it first. Here's my wire stripper. There it is. Where's the stripper at? Oh, there she is. So, slice this back. Hand this to my stripper.
She did not give a look of reassurance there that she was your stripper.
Well, depends how many ones and tens I have.
You mean 50s?
50s, yeah.
Can't hurt these get more expensive these days.
They are.
I remember when one
West Virginia, you get them for like $1.
$1 used to go far.
Yeah. I'd be a stripper, but I wouldn't make any money.
They'd pay me to get off the stage. Put your clothes on, fatty.
So you put your hot leg on here right now, and then once that's done, you want to snap your breaker in place. Now you can see right here, just like a little bit of notches right there. Put your notch on first, and this should snap right in place. The white wires are neutral. The bare copper is your ground wire. So what I like to do is I like to follow suit with leaving my ground wires and my neutral wires kind of the same pattern. Some people put all the grounds on one bar and then all the neutrals on another bar. But Kevin doesn't have enough wire for me to do that. It doesn't really matter because they're all intertwined anyway. And there's my main ground wire coming right here. So, for this particular one, we're going to put the ground and neutral right above each other. I like everything nice and straight. His other panel's a mess. He can tell you that. It took me like 5 hours to straighten out. I'm so OCD with my lines. I like everything totally perfect.
Only you clean up the rest of your life like that.
Yeah, funny. I'm working on it. When you moving out? Let's see. Sounds pretty good right there. Okay. So the next breaker is going to be attached next, and I guess it'll be one of these two. Okay, I see. He has this connected to this receptacle, tied into here, and then it goes to that receptacle. So these two receptacles are now theoretically done. Next circuit is going to be his lighting circuit, which you're going to put inside the panel. As you can see, the panel's totally connected up. He has 3 different circuits, 2 for receptacles and 1 for the lights. We hooked up grounding lugs to the grounding bar right here. And we're ready to put the panel back. All we have to do is knock out the knockouts from the panel for these particular 3 breakers, and we're ready to go.
All done?
All done. We're ready to go inside and install the breaker coming out to here. We're gonna have 2 breakers, one in the main breaker panel that's gonna shut off this sub panel. We are done. That's it. Looks pretty good. The new panel. I installed this new panel, but what, about 2 years ago, Kevin? And here is the main shutoff going to the garage. So we have everything terminated. Just one more piece to go right here. And we're done. So Kevin, what do you think so far?
So far, so good.
I've done a lot of work for you before, haven't I?
Yep, and always been satisfied.
Awesome. And you're gonna have like a nice workshop out there, huh?
Yes.
Are you gonna be doing any welding or just tooling around?
No, it's going to be for the snap-on.
For the snap-on stuff?
Yep, it's going to be storage in an office.
Great. That's awesome. Well, thanks for the work, and hopefully you're satisfied and give us a call back again.
Definitely.
I am ready for the reveal. Turning the new breaker on for the new garage. On? That's a good sign. Let's go to the garage. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is turn on the main breaker. All right, now you want to turn on each individual breaker.
Hot damn!
That is the reveal. That's the way the handyman rolls. Yeah, man. Awesome. Awesome.